Hello, how are you? I hope you're well. I'm going to wait for more people to come into this room. So if you are hashtag replay gang, please feel free to go on ahead and check the description box. We will most likely get started at 6 minutes. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my God, it's the 6-minute mark. I'm so rude. And one person even left. Rude. Rude. Let me get my life together. Okay, let's get in here. Let's do that. Okay, let's get started. And now, hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of MILF Manor Season 1, Episode 3, Your MILF Don't Dance. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Wah, and I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as Love After Lockup, MILF Manor, 90 Day Fiancé, Seeking a Sister Wife, sometimes Married at First Sight, but really I hate it, and others. So if that's your jam, if you're interested in that kind of content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you are the hashtag replay gang, hi, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, if you at all get the hee ha-has while watching, please feel free to tip me. I don't mind. I encourage it. I support it. I want to give a special shout out to Bonnie because Bonnie tipped me last live and I wasn't able to tell her thank you because I didn't realize until after I had gotten off the live. So thank you so much. I mucho appreciate it. And yeah, hello Ramsterdam, hello Joslo, hello Baba Baby Binky Blanket. Thank you guys. All of my moderators are here. We're only missing Lynn J and Jesse Lee. So, and maybe Mickey. Does Mickey not watch this? Where is our good friend Quasimodem? Our good friend Mickey. Anywho, let's jump right into this episode. I took notes with my hand and I actually got pictures for you guys. So don't think that I was just playing. You know, I wasn't playing. Okay, so let's first off talking about Ryan and Jimmy talking about breakfast carbs. So here, I finally get to show you the picture of these guys. Ooh, I don't have individual pictures, so you're just gonna have to use your imagination. Okay, the guy in the middle is Ryan. Ryan is 30 years old, okay? He's the one to beat, honestly, because he's the most seasoned of the men, he's the least annoying. And I think he's the one that most of the women would be interested in kind of hanging out with, except for Paula. And we'll get to her because she's wild and crazy for her statements that she made. It's like Paula doesn't want to be on this show. That's what I got from this episode. Okay, so I keep hitting this. I'm sure you can still hear me. Anywho, so then we've got the two boys. So we've got Jimmy, who is this guy right here. So Jimmy and Ryan, again, who's in the middle, are talking about breakfast. And Jimmy, to me, looks hungover. He looks like he's hungover from the day before when he was in the pool, upset about his finding out his mother has slept with his best friend. And they are working that hangover. And Ryan's like, I already have a quesadilla, but I really want a pancake. And I feel like that's too much carbs. And in that moment, I was very sad for them. They are already probably very naturally thin guys. And for us to be in at the point in our society where we're counting how many carbs we're eating in the morning, I don't ever want to hear anybody young counting carbs. And I want to, you know, I don't, and maybe I should, but like, you're not going to tell me I can't have a pancake and a quesadilla. Now the cheese we could talk about, but I don't know. It's just, I was like, oh, I hate that we've like got such issues with food. Well, it's mainly because our food is like filled with nonsense, so we have to be careful. Okay, so then we go over to Disco Mommy. Guys, this is Kelly. This is the one who has been trying to F everybody's son. And she has woken up the next morning and she still has chosen fire of violence, but she's decided that she's going to play along and be like a nice lady. So she's like, listen, how many times do I have to say stop speaking Spanish? Do I have to say it in Spanish? Cállate. Girl, I thought she was saying karate because I was like, cállate? What is that word? And then I was like, oh my God, cállate. The woman is trying to say cállate, but it says like cállate, which is like bananas. And so then she's like, ha, 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 ha. So then she goes down and she hugs Stephanie and she's like, I'm so sorry that, you know, I acted the way I did. You know, I'm over it now. Let me find a picture of Stephanie. Oh, do I not have a picture of Stephanie? I don't have a picture with Stephanie. I'm going to show you the glamour shop version of her, the version of her that she thinks she looks like, which she doesn't. Stephanie is the one in the middle. It's Kelly is the one, Kelly Mortensen, and see Stephanie Johnson. Stephanie Johnson is the one that is Stephanie. And this episode, all of the guys are into her pinched face. I mean, Kelly looks like she is permanently sucking on a lemon. But I mean, listen, who am I to say? She's getting all the baddies, you know what I'm saying? All the boys want her. She's bringing all the boys to her yard with the milkshake. She just has very like pinched, drawn in features. And she first goes down and she's like, "Hey, let's finish our conversation about last night." And Stephanie's like, "Oh my God, girl." And Kelly's like, "Just kidding. I love you so much. Like, let's hug. Let's be best friends because like this is so stupid." And then she walks over to Paula. And Paula's like a little confused as to why she's walking over to her. And so Paula's like, and Paula in her confessional is like, "I thought she was going to yell at us." And she's like, "Hi, honey, I'm so sorry. Like yesterday was so dumb and like, I apologize for my behavior." And then she finds like a bottle of champagne and she opens it up. And then her and Kelly toast. And Kelly's like, "I'm going to teach you Spanish. You're going to learn Spanish. Mamacita, mamacita." And so then Kelly's like, "You know what? It's actually my fault because I took Spanish in school, but then I stopped. So really, if I had continued on my Spanish, then I wouldn't be so racist." She didn't say that. I said that, but we all know what was going on. So then we've got Gabriel. He's so disgusting. He looks like he doesn't wash. This is the one that's like, I remember I told you guys last episode, he's the one who kissed his best friend and found out the best friend found out he was bi based on that kiss. And I was just like, ugh. And we find out this episode that he's a musician and he like travels. And so he needs like a woman who's like good on her toes and who can talk to a bunch of people. And he thinks that is Stephanie. P.S. This is a picture of Stephanie laying like, oh, she got body, yada, yada. This is Stephanie. Okay. Looking get. Okay. Just to remind you, this is Stephanie. She's the one at the top in the middle, the second one. It's Kelly, it's Stephanie, then it's April Jane, then it's Billy, which is like, wow, Billy, really? Anyways, so Gabriel comes to talk to Jimmy about the situation that had happened yesterday, finding out that So Young has had sex with his best friend. And Gabriel's like, "Honestly, if I were you, if that happened to me, I would have just phoned home. Like, I wouldn't have been able to take it. Like, absolutely not. Like, my mom having sex with my best friend is like the wildest story that ever happened in my life. In your life. And I can't believe I heard it. I can't believe I was there. But if you want somebody to talk to, let me know." And Jimmy's like, "Yeah, this not only that my mom told me, but it's that she told me in front of everybody. And now everyone knows. Like, not only everyone here, but everyone back home." He didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. And so then there was a confessional with him and So Young. And So Young was like, "Yeah, that was really hard for me yesterday. How do you feel?" And Jimmy's like, "It was hard for you. You're the one who fucked my best friend. Like, what do you mean it was hard for you? It was hard for me. It felt like in that moment you weren't my mother. Like, you didn't even tell me. You didn't even have a decency to tell me in the privacy beforehand." And then April J, who is the eldest lady there, look at her looking good. She was like, "Yeah, that's unacceptable." She's like, "Honestly, if I were to divulge something so personal like that in front of everybody, I would have absolutely given my son a heads up, or I 100% wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have told producers that. That's like a secret that goes to the grave." So then they have some kind of like, is this the dance off where it's like so stupid? Ryan, Joey, Gabriel. Oh, no. So the ones who won last week, I don't know, the whole competition last week about guessing the thing you don't know about your mother or your son is weird. But anyways, those who won last week, Ryan, Joey, and Gabriel, they got to choose a girl of their picking to go on a date with. So Ryan chooses Stephanie. So guy in the middle chooses Stephanie, who is, again, this lady with the pinched face in the center. And then we have Joey, who is the youngest of the bunch, and that's Joey and his mom, Kelly. Joey chooses to go out with April. He really has a mommy complex. Like, so at this time, the youngest, the 20-year-old, goes with the 59-year-old. I mean, I'm trying to think. If I really do feel like April could be Joey's grandmother. Now, not to say that like there's anything wrong with it. If you want to date an older woman, by all means. But it was just an interesting swing, okay? And then Ryan chooses to take Paula. Ryan is the one in the middle. That is, his mother is Shannon. They look a lot alike. I don't know if you could tell. But anyways, so Ryan goes on a date with Paula because everyone there kind of acknowledges the fact that Paula has the best body. And we'll see this later on in the episode. So they all go on a date where they sit down and drink tequila and eat some crickets. And of course, there are people who don't want to eat it. Like Paula, native of Mexico, is like, no, thank you. I'm not interested in these crickets. Her and Ryan are sitting, but they're all sitting like on a patio, and they're all like at their own little tables. And I mean, Gabriel is just acting an absolute amok. Like he's being really like rude. He's throwing the food. He's spitting it out. He's like yelling at Joey for going on a date with his mom. So April and Gabriel are there, and they're the only mother-son duo there at the same time. Oh, hot take, says Renee. April J and Kelly had the same surgeon. I think they're both from LA, so you might be right. You might be right. Hi, Cowboys19. Welcome. Renee says, Paula gets on my nerves. Well, they all do. I mean, it's true. It's absolutely true. So then Gabriel is just like, I mean, he's like doing the most. He's grabbing Stephanie's foot, and Stephanie is just literally giggling under the table. Not under the table. She's giggling. She's like, stop it. Calm down. Calm down. And then he's yelling, and he's like, Mom, how was your date with Joey? And his mother turns around to him, and she's like, Gabriel, like, can I just like live my life? Like, what are you doing? And Joey's like, Gabriel is having a problem with me dating his mom, but like, I don't care. I'm with it. And April J is honestly saying that Joey's quite a gentleman right now. Like he's being attentive. He's asking her questions, and he is really, really interested in having sex with April J. Now, I wouldn't blame him. April J is hot. Let's get back to her picture so that we can talk about it. Look at this. Spicy mommy hot tamale. Look at this. She's good. She looks good. So, anywho, usually Joey is the one hollering mom, mom, mom when he's referring to Kelly, but now it's like Gabriel, and it's like really annoying. Ryan is getting annoyed. So Ryan, what he does is he takes Paula and he like goes and they walk down the street to like have more of an adult conversation. And he's trying to like put his moves on her and schmooze with her and talk about like, you know, what is it that she's here for? And she's like, well, first of all, I'm here for myself. Like, I really love myself. So I'm here on this reality show for me. Secondly, I'm here for Jose because he's my son and I love him. And I'm like, but girl, you didn't know he was going to be on this show. Like, initially you thought you were just going to meet younger men. And now all of a sudden that he's here, you're like all up underneath him. It's just like wild. And then she's like, then I'm here to find love. And Ryan is like, okay. But Ryan is like, yeah, it's definitely a mama's boy situation going on here. Like it's too much. And he's trying to get to know her. And then he goes in for like a smooth kiss. And she's like, no, like she doesn't want to kiss him. And listen, I understand you're right not to want to kiss somebody. And I feel like if you were out in the real world, don't. But you're on a reality show, ma'am. You're on a reality show, and like he's trying to date you, and he says that like if Paula isn't going to be open to and open up to him and talk to him and like act like he's dating her, like he doesn't understand. So here's Ryan's thing. Ryan is like, listen, we're all here to date a bunch of different people. Yes, I could be more like leaning towards somebody else, but we're all single and we're all here to get to know each other. So if Paula's going to act like we're on the outside and, you know, this isn't an accelerated program, then I'm not going to be really too much into it. And I have to say, I agree with him. He isn't being malicious. He's just like moving around. But then someone like Gabriel and like Joey, they're like, oh, well, Ryan's trying to talk to everybody. And it's like, yeah, that is the name of this game. You don't come in and on day 3 choose who you're going to hang out with for the rest of the time. You date around until you find somebody that you like. It's like The Bachelor. Ryan is fully in his Bachelor mode. Okay, so Ryan is really annoyed with Gabe for being childish. And then also Gabe pulls out a cigarette and starts to smoke. And I was just like, Really? You thought that was the move, to sit cross-legged across from Stephanie and just start lighting up a cigarette? Like, listen, no shade to those who smoke, but shouldn't you like figure out whether or not, if somebody were to be like, "Hey, is it okay if I smoke?" I would be, listen, just know it's not okay for me. I'd be like, "Oh, no, I can't make out with you because your mouth is going to taste weird and I don't want it. I don't want it. No, I don't want it." So Stephanie's like, "Oh my God, I like you because you're so fun, you're stylish, you're spontaneous." And I'm like, "Stephanie, stop lying. You don't like him. There's no way you could like him. No matter if you were a thirsty mommy who wants to date a younger man, there is no way that you could absolutely at all be into Gabriel." Small Brittany, hello. I feel bad for the moms who haven't been on dates yet. Oh, let's not talk about April W. April W hasn't been on a date. Shannon hasn't been on a date. Charlene hasn't been on a date. So Young hasn't been on a date. Paula has been on 2 dates. And Stephanie has been on 3? Yeah, 3. April has been on 1. Kelly has been on 2. Yeah, Stephanie is like the one that's really popular. Whew. But it's also because they're not out there trying to like troll on people's sons. But then there's also like Harrison. So like, who is okay? Also, there's a guy who we haven't spoken to yet. It is April W's son. We don't see them at all. At least So Young and Charlene get some kind of play, some kind of airtime. April W, none at all. Not at all. Shannon, at least in her confessionals, we get to see her. So, anyways, Gabe doesn't like Joey that he's talking with his mom. And then I put Billy and Disco Mommy talk. They're sitting like on the steps talking. So let me give you Billy. Billy, who, I know it's uncouth and terrible for me to say this, but I think this man is gay. Because he's literally like, "I'm really easy breezy and I just go with everything." And yeah. So this person and this person go on a date. Now, this person says that she wouldn't consider Ryan as somebody that she would normally date because he's gay. She doesn't say that, but that's what we're all thinking. And because she's like, I like it when a man like takes charge or whatever. And so then he like is like, "Hey, are you a good kisser? I'm told I'm a really good kisser. Like, you want to kiss? You want to make out?" And she's like, "No, you're not supposed to ask me. You're supposed to just do it." And he's like, "Well, I'm a gentleman." And I'm like, "Okay." I mean, I'm not gonna tell my business. I'm not gonna tell my business. Anyway, anyways, so I'm like, I don't care if a guy asks me if we can kiss. Like, I'm like, great. Takes the awkwardness out of it. Let's just do it. He's like, "Can I kiss you?" "Absolutely, let's do it." Or, "Can I kiss you?" "Actually, I'm gonna go." You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, yeah, let's do it. And so he leans in and she's like, "You've got food in your mouth." And he had just like put a carrot in his mouth and he's like, "Oh." And then he's like, "Actually," she's like, Kelly says something akin to like, "I gotta watch out for you on this beach because his secret was that he had sex in public on the beach." And he's like, "Actually, they don't have condoms here that are my size." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to brag, but they don't have condoms my size." And I thought to myself, how irresponsible of them to not pack some magnums. Why would they not have magnums? Do they make extra small condoms? They should. Some people need them. So then she's like, "Oh my God." So Kelly then, Disco Mommy Kelly, goes back into the house and tells his mother, Billy's mother, Stephanie. And here's a picture of Billy. He's the one in the orange in the upper right-hand corner. Like, girl, what's happening? Billy Anderson. His mother is Stephanie Johnson. Wild. So, the Disco Mommy tells Stephanie, "Your son just told me that there's no condoms here big enough for him. Did you know that? Did you know your son was hung?" And Stephanie's like, why would you come to me and say that? And then in the confessionals, Kelly's like, well, she probably knows her son has a big dick. And I'm like, you have no tact. Like, you're so desperate to be on a reality show that you want to say anything and everything to get Black Twitter to make a meme of you. Like, is that what she wants? She wants somebody to make a meme of her. Someone just go on ahead and oblige Kelly, because we're tired of the antics. Are we not? We are. We're tired of them. So then the boys do the couples they do a mother-son dance, and whoever gets the most votes gets to go out on a private salsa lesson whatever challenge, what the fuck ever. Girl, Harrison and Charlene win because Harrison is a male dancer, right? So he's got the moves, even though it didn't seem like he had the moves, and Charlene for sure did not have the moves, not at all. So Ryan and Shannon did their very best because she used to be a B girl, but she didn't win. So, and she also didn't go on a date. So when Charlene and Harrison won the dance off, also like the chemistry between So Young and Jimmy was really bad during that time because of like the awkwardness, but they got over it. Anyways, so Harrison and Charlene get to choose who they want to go on a date with for these salsa lessons at like whatever. And so Harrison chooses to go out with Stephanie. And it's like, damn, everybody wants Stephanie. So now Gabriel's gone out with Stephanie. Ryan has been looking at Stephanie. And like now Harrison is looking at Stephanie. Everyone has decided that Stephanie is the best one there. Prettiest one. So what everyone's decided, this is what we've gotten, is that Paula is the one with the banging ass body. Stephanie is the one that's the prettiest. And So Young is the one that has like the most interesting personality or something. Like she's the one that can like have conversations. She probably acts really young, and so they feel at home with her. So they go out and they go to these dates and they start to dance. And Charlene picks Jose to go on a date with. It's like ladies' choice. So she's trying to talk to Jose. And you guys, Jose is 23 years old. Okay. So on this lineup, we've got Joey, who's 20, Ryan, who's 30, and Jose, who's 23. Does Jose not look exactly like his mother? Look at these two. Look at their eyes. They look exactly alike. It's wild. So anyways, Charlene is trying to say, like, in dating, I want a man to take charge because in my life, I take charge a lot. Like, I'm always having to be the one to lead. And so when I date like somebody, I really like it if they could like take over and give me a break. And girl, I could not have heard and understand her anymore. Like, I was like, I feel seen. And Jose cannot understand. Jose is like, no, but I think things should be 50-50. Like, I think everybody should have their like point of view and like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what's happening? It's a melding of two different worlds. I think on one end, we have Jose who like wants the woman to have as much say and wants to give her the freedom to be who she is and that they come into this match equally. And Charlene is like, great, great, great. But I have been running the household and paying all the bills and manning the ship as a single mom for 20 years. I need a break. So truthfully, thank you for wanting me to have my opinion, but I don't want an opinion. And if I do have an opinion, I'll say it. And then you make it seem like it was your idea. And I was like, Jose was like not getting it. And so Jose was like, yeah, the chemistry wasn't right between me and Charlene. And Charlene was like, nah. And I'm like, you know what? All the ladies are kind of angling towards Ryan because he's the eldest. He's the one that makes the most sense. Then it's Jimmy, I believe, right? I don't know how old Harrison is, though. I'll be honest with you. And no one has given Harrison a chance. So, while we seem to have a special guest, Cowboy 19. Who's Cowboy 19? Cowboy 19, are you in the show? Wait, what? Harrison is my stepson. Oh, is that why you guys don't look alike? Cowboy 19, are you Charlene? Or are you... Harrison is 24. Wait, are you Charlene or are you Charlene's ex's new partner? Like new wife? Come on, girl. If you're going to come in here, you need to tell us who you are. I'm waiting. I'm not moving on. Yeah. isn't Stephanie the youngest? I don't know. Is Stephanie 40? I put my notes somewhere. Okay, so there's April W, who's 43. Yes, new wife. Oh, okay. Well, good. Thank you for telling us he's 24. Also, when was he like a male stripper? And like, I want to know more about that at such a young age, which is nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm sure it's a great way to make money. Okay, 46. So yeah, I don't know. Stephanie is 46. Paolo is 48. Disco Mommy is 50. April W is 59. Shannon is 50. I think the youngest is April W, which we haven't heard from at all. Anyways, so I completely understand what Charlene is saying because, like, yes, all you want is for a man to take over. Like, really, that's all you want. But I just wish that they were more older guys because I feel like Charlene is taking herself out of the running. Now, I'm going to go on ahead and say that in this picture, she looks absolutely great. Here, this is the first picture of her on the first day. Do I have a picture of her? Yes. Look how great she looks here. I mean, could she be wearing like a little lip liner? Could she have defined her lips a little more? Absolutely. Could we have a lash? I mean, she might have a lash on, but like yes. Could we have like zhuzhed up the brown in her hair? I see the little highlights that are coming through. Absolutely. But like, I just wanted her to have more confidence because I think she sold herself short initially. This is her in the bottom right-hand corner. Charlene De Sico. I'm not sure how to pronounce Italian names. I do apologize. So like, she could have given us a little more. And then she wore her hair up in a ponytail on the date with Jose. And I was like, no. You know what it is? It's because I'm from California. And in California, women have extensions. And I'm always like looking out for the extensions. Now, I don't need it all the time. They don't have to be Darcy and Stacy crazy extensions. But I'm like, give us a little halo. Like, just give us a little bit of something, you know? I think it's just that she is like not aware of the way that makeup and everything is done now. It's dated. And I was there in 2009. Charlene is not that much older than me. She's like Gen X and I'm an older millennial. But what I'm saying is that I get it. I don't have kids, so that's another thing that didn't stop me from like paying attention to what's going on. And right now, like I'm really trying to do something new with my eyebrows. So I 100% understand how one could get like kind of stuck. But I'm like, she gave up too quick. She gave up too quick talking about, I don't think anybody's going to like me. And yeah, Ryan would be the right one for her. And I don't know why she didn't choose Ryan to go on a date with. Anyways, so Jose didn't understand what she was saying, which is like annoying. But then also Harrison was having a hard time dating Stephanie while his mother was there. And I'm like, Harrison, can you not go into like whatever like stripper mode and just like be the fantasy? And then he kind of messed up. So Stephanie's like, well, who do you think you get along with here the most? And he's like, so young. And I'm like, okay, here's what you do, Harrison. This is what you do. You say, so young, but I really want to get to know you. Actually, that's why I asked you out today. Like, I really think you're beautiful and blah, blah, blah. So then when she follows up with like, well, who do you think is the prettiest here? You're like, you know what? I think it's you. I love dark-haired women. You don't say Paula and you don't say so young. And then look at her like she's supposed to what? Take it from there? No. Jana Lynn says, I can't watch them anymore. Push through, my friend. I mean, listen, there have been times where I was watching it and I was like, ugh. I mean, this show really is very cringy. And I really would just love it if they could get to the point of it. There has to be some moral end of it. Probably still grieving over her daughter. 100%. Are you saying that maybe that's why I don't are you saying that that's why maybe her style hasn't been elevated? I don't. What? I'm from the East Coast. Is this your maternity? What is this you, Marsha, with extensions in your hair? Marsha, I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, Marsha Endeavor, we have known each other for at least 5 years now. I'm going to tell you, if you were ever on a reality show, Marsha, you take your extensions with you. If they're clip-ins, if they're a little halo, you take that shit with you. It looks better on camera. You take that shit with you, Marsha. Okay, Janelyn, you have a full head of healthy hair, ma'am. We see that side swoop. So lucky, okay? The rest of us are balding, like myself. And we have to take either a head wrap or some fake hair with us. It looks better on camera. East Coast, East Coast, East Coast, Beast Coast, nothing. I lived on the East Coast for 6 years. Oh my God, Brazzle Dazzle. Haven't seen you in forever. Hello. So, anyways, thank you, Cowboys 19, for giving us a little insight on Harrison and Charlene. We appreciate it. LOL, their extensions. So you're gonna tell me that that Charlene can't do with some extensions? He's sitting here with extensions, ma'am. Connecticut, my WA friends. I'm just saying, if you're gonna, you know me, you know my stance on being on a reality show. If you're on a reality show, you wear makeup, you wear eyelashes, and you wear hair. That is it. Aw, nice to see you too. Oh, nice to see your bouquet as your picture. Jocelyn, what are you saying? I can't stop now. What? I don't remember. I didn't see what you said. Probably still grieving her. Anyways, get some extensions. Anywho, so what else happened? So it's a no-go with Jose and Charlene. We already discussed that. Stephanie and Harrison. Yeah. Gabriel pulls Stephanie to the side to talk, and Ryan is annoyed. Gabriel is so weird. Listen, I was a fan of Fall Out Boy too. Okay? In some universe, this person's makes sense to some girls. It just, I can't do it, especially if you're like being disrespectful about eating crickets in someone else's culture, especially when you're hollering, mom, how's your date? So he's like, me and Stephanie are solid. I listen, I think my assessment of Gabriel was absolutely correct in the beginning. I think that his parents have a certain amount of money, which has afforded him a certain amount of lifestyle and a certain amount of getting away with being who he is. And most of the time it's obnoxious because people probably just want to be around him. People want to be his friend. They think he's cool, he's interesting. And the truth is like, for those of us who are not interested in that, it's not interesting. Like, I don't need somebody who's always hollering and being too much. Like, here's one thing I don't want is to be embarrassed, not ever. And some of his behaviors is downright embarrassing. So Stephanie doesn't know how to handle it. She's like, oh, he's so sweet. Yeah, great. So she like snuggles up with him for a little bit because she recognizes that he needs her attention. And Ryan is like, yo, Gabriel's doing too much. And I'm like, Ryan, I get it. But it's, yeah. If you've ever been in a play and you're like, this is what always happens to me. I'm in a play or I'm in some kind of social setting, right? And I tend to like zone in on the person that I feel is the most talented because I feel like we have a lot in common. No, but people are interested in me. Like people want to like talk to me or whatever. So I oblige, I talk to them. And there's always like one like finicky skinny girl in the corner who's just very upset about it. And she just like either doesn't know the tactic is to just be my friend or be the person's friend as opposed to just being rude. And so what Ryan needs to do is just be Gabriel's friend so that he doesn't look like a hater. But anyways, so Ryan then takes Stephanie out on a date, which upsets Gabriel. Again, he feels like he's got it locked down with Stephanie. And they go snorkeling. And they go the snorkel and they have a good time. And on the way out of the water, Ryan picks up Stephanie and carries her out of the water. Girl, I wish that someone could pick up these 200 pounds and carry me for any amount of time. I have never been lifted by a man. Have I? I have never been lifted by a man and felt secure. The times that I have been lifted, I was like terrified for my life. And that's when I was 40 pounds lighter. So I would not. Don't let me know. Also, the last guy I dated had a bum shoulder, so he wasn't lifting anything. So they sit down and Ryan's like, listen, what's up with you and Gabriel? And she's like, I really see Gabriel as like a friend. I'm really interested in you. And he's like, okay, bet. And so he like solidifies it and goes about his business. Who's not attractive? Gabriel? Agreed. I really feel like he doesn't look anything like his mother. I mean, like, now with or without the Botox or the fillers and all the stuff. Like, look at this woman's face. This woman is an olive toned, like seemingly ethnic looking individual. Now, the ethnic part of it could be just coming from her high cheekbones that are filled and her puffy lips or her like filled lips. But like that person, just gonna like, let's just imprint this face in your memory. And now let's look at this person. This is an Anglo-Saxon from the mountains of Caucasus, right? And this is a woman who might like be Italian or like Arab. You know what I'm saying? like anyways, I don't think they look alike. But that isn't, I mean, so it's just really interesting that he didn't get any of his mother's features or his mother's common sense. I wonder if like that's her youngest son too. She had him when she was like, she's 59 and he's 23. I mean, those are odd numbers, so it's really going to be hard for me to do the math. But let's say 20 years from 59 is 39. And then 3 years from that is 36. So she had him at 36. So maybe he is her youngest kid. All right, you guys. Where did this episode end? I think it ended there. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I'm not, but I'm here for you. Thank you. Thank you for confirming my theater major math. And thank you for this too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for Cowboy19 for joining us and giving us a little insight. We appreciate it. Isn't it always slightly awkward when people who like watch the show or people who are on the show join? Remember that time in like 2018 when Annie and David's daughter, what's her name? April? Ashley Tuborowski, like from David and Annie. David, remember when she used to join the chat? She gave us a lot of insights. Ashley was cool though. Who else joined it? Oh, when I first started talking about Ty and Hottie from Love After Lockup, Ty started commenting. I was like, girl, okay, I know you're real people and I appreciate you, but like, don't make me awkward. And the British guy, yes, remember Richard from from 90 Day Fiance, Britain, who was like, hey, Wah, love what you're doing. Every time somebody joins my little group, I'm like, hi, hello, hi, how are you? Don't be mad at me. Ashley, by the way, I started watching you that year. Remember, you and Chris would put the Post-its behind you. You and Chris would put the Past-its behind you with the shoutouts. Oh my God, Richard was sitting on you so hard. No, he wasn't. You know who that was? That was Linda Antwi of 90 Day the Melanated Day being like, wow, what's going on between you two? He wasn't actually hitting on me. Okay. She was the one who was starting rumors. Linda. Okay, guys, for real, I'm leaving. Y'all have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Jump in the line. Rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line.